Marvel Rivals is absolutely cooking Overwatch. Now, I am an OG Overwatch player. I used to play that game all the time. You could scroll back to the beginning of this channel, man. I posted a couple of Overwatch videos, but man, I played so much of that game. It was ridiculous. But it's basically done. It's completely cooked. Marvel Rivals somehow was able to accomplish what Overwatch wanted to do 10 years ago in the matter of under a year. And basically, the first thing that they did is actually make good-looking characters. So in Marvel Rivals, you actually have a normal looking character, maybe even slightly more sexualized than Overwatch, I guess you could say. So you look at the Overwatch characters, they're kind of like, rated T, it's a game for teens, maybe, there's violence and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. But then you look at Marvel Rivals and bam, they got the Gyat, they got everything in there, all, adult centric stuff. They have mods where you can make the characters enhanced, if you know what I'm saying. But basically what I'm trying to say is that Marvel Rivals figured it out. You just make good looking characters, men and women, and somehow people like the game. To be honest, it's really not that hard to comprehend. People like attractive people. There's attractive characters in the game. People are gonna like it. You make something like Concord where you make, super ugly characters that nobody can relate to, or no one's gonna look up to, or nobody even likes, or no one's even attracted to, then there's not really an appeal. I mean, literally sex appeals to everybody. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. You're a man, you're gonna like the hot girls. If you're a girl, you're gonna like the hot guys in the game. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the title of the video, that the situation is crazy for Marvel Rivals, is that they're leaning into it heavily by announcing, and they posted this new skin. It's called like the Malice skin, and basically she's got so much exposure going on here that people are geeking out. The nerds all over the internet, and dudes like me, looking at it like, yo, this is absolutely awesome. We love this look. We love stuff like this in video games, where like kind of like Stellar Blade, like they're actually leaning more into like, let's show more skin, let's show more sexuality, which is totally fine. I mean, why not? Like, it's mostly older people playing the game. Like, there's not really any reason to like not do it. Like, and people are obviously on Twitter and stuff like that getting super upset. Oh my god, they're sexualizing women, they're making women look hot. How can they do this? How can they make women look hot? Meanwhile, you have literally like women saying that like this is absolutely beautiful and stuff like that. I mean, I'll show you a picture of the skin on screen. Basically, she has the Gyat out and everything. But what's kind of crazy is that this is actually lore accurate to the comics. If you look up the comics, there's actually a costume just like this, but even more lewd and sexual in the comics. So they actually toned it down for the game, and they put it in the game. They toned it down a little bit, and they put it in the game, and people are still freaking out. You have people divided, basically saying, this is bad. This doesn't look good for women and stuff like that in video games. Meanwhile, nobody really cares. Mostly people like me, or the average Joe, the average male who's gonna play the game. Probably 90% of the population of males are playing this game, are gonna enjoy this skin. Probably gonna buy it so that they can look at a nice, exterior while they're trying to play the game. So I have absolutely no problem with it. If anything, I encourage this kind of thing. This is awesome. I'm so glad that Marvel Rivals is actually doing something like this. If Overwatch even tried to do something slightly like this, they would get absolutely destroyed. And it's not because of the skin or like the game itself having like issues or whatever. It's just the name and the brand Overwatch. They've completely cooked themselves from what they did before. Basically, if you don't know, or could be living under a rock, I guess, if you're not a gamer or whatever, I'm gonna make this very simple. Overwatch came out and was a paid game. I paid $60. I went and I bought the game for $60 with cash money. Not even almost like a year or 2 years later, they made the game free for everybody. So like, no refund, and then everybody else gets to get the game for free. So I was kind of happy that all my friends got to get the game for free, because then I could play with them. But I never got a refund or anything like that. So that's kind of cooked. And 90% of everybody else, actually 110%, nobody got a refund for Overwatch 2 becoming free. So the money that I paid for, I didn't even get anything extra bonus for being, like an OG or anything like that. They just randomly decided like, hey, yeah, let's make the game for free, because we're losing money, and we're just gonna sell skins and loot boxes, right? So that's fine. But they didn't even give nobody, the OG players like me, any sort of like reward or loyalty for anything. So I was like, wow, this game's free. And they updated the game continuously, making it worse. They did not listen to the community at all. And then just general guideline stuff too that they totally do not mess around with. So like, if you're in a voice chat and you're totally destroying the other team, and you're like, yo, you fucking suck. Like, this was the easiest game ever. Or you could type, you know, GG easy. It would automatically translate and remove GG easy, and it would put it to something like, this was a fantastic game. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. This is absolutely legit 100% what happened in Overwatch. Marvel Rivals, from what I could tell, you could type whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's not anything like too crazy, like slurs or anything like that. You could basically say whatever you want in Marvel Rivals. Voice chat, I don't think there's any sort of limit. I've heard people say any kind of crazy stuff, and to be honest, it's not really a problem because you click the mute button. That's what it was invented for. You don't need someone else to moderate your chat, so you just mute them and that's it. Or you can just turn off voice chat. It's really that simple. I don't know why Overwatch decided to create these whole community guidelines, you know, bullshit, when Marvel Rivals, you see them, they have literally like barely any moderation and the game's doing 10 times better. So just stuff like that, you know, they didn't listen to the community. Updates constantly ruining the game and just making characters worse or just unplayable. Like, obviously every game has a meta, right? And so the meta usually is, you know, the best way to play the game to win. And Marvel Rivals, it seems like the meta is just play who you're good at. And also a genius idea that Marvel Rivals did is they doubled down on the amount of people that can actually play the game. So for example, in Overwatch, you have to have a tank, you have to have a healer, you have to have a damage guy, and then you can have like optional, I think, like one other thing or whatever. I haven't played the game in years, so I forgot. It seems like in Marvel Rivals, it doesn't really matter. You could pick whatever character you want as long as you think you'll win the game. So there's not really like a role queue system, which I think is great because it's total freedom to play whoever you want. I hated when Overwatch changed to role queue and you actually have to sit there and you're like, okay, I like to play damage, but so does 90% of everybody else. So I gotta click the damage person to play, and then I have to wait longer because I want to play the character that I want to play. I want to play DPS, so I gotta wait 30 minutes to find a game. Oh, but if I click healer, I'll find a game in 30 seconds because nobody plays healer, right? Why? Why did they change? Why did they do that? That did not help anything. If anything, it made it worse. In the original Overwatch, I know it's very different with different meta and stuff like that. And it's gonna be cringe, but I used to play Genji and I was really good at Genji. I practiced like every day. I wanted to go pro. I had a little phase. I wanted to go pro in Overwatch. I met a coach in person. It was kind of like on accident. I just randomly met them one day, and then they kind of told me like, if you get really good and you can get to diamond and then inch like maybe towards top 500, like I could consider going pro. And he gave me his number and everything, and he was cool. But I grinded, and I was stuck at plat for a long time, and I eventually couldn't make it. And I mostly blame on myself. I feel like I should have trained more, but I also was in school and stuff. I mean, dude, I was like 16 years old when Overwatch came out. Like I was going to school and then I was playing Overwatch like 3 or 4 hours a day. So, I was on that grind, man. I wanted to make it, but I just didn't have the skill for it, I guess. I also had a really bad PC. I was playing at like the lowest settings anyways. But anyways, back to the story. Yeah, I used to just play DPS and I had no problem. And then when they changed that system, I was forced to play DPS, but I had to wait 30 fucking minutes to find a match. So I eventually got frustrated and I was just like, dude, I hate this game. Like, I would literally queue into a game, alt tab, and watch like YouTube for like I said, 10, 20, even 30 minutes at a time, waiting to load into a game, and just to lose anyways, because people would play healer or whatever just to load into the match faster, just so that they can play, and then they wouldn't actually heal. People would just go do damage or whatever. Like people that would play Moira and then, be DPS Moira and not even heal people. So, because technically it's a healer, but it does damage. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is Marvel Rivals doesn't have any sort of limitation by that from what I can see. Seems like you could just play any role, and they even double down on the DPS characters. I think it's like 80% of all the characters are DPS, and then like 20% is like tank and healer, which is great because they know people love DPS. Now, people might think, well, that's stupid because now XYZ, whatever, you need healers, you need tanks. They have healers and they have tanks, and they're all really, really good. The thing is with the DPS, I feel like most of them are pretty balanced in what they do. Like, you have Black Widow. She's a sniper. She's basically Widowmaker. If you're good at aiming, she's one tap. You can one tap Widow, and then she can also one tap you. She's like glass cannon. Then you have, more of like tanky DPS, kind of like Moon Knight. He's kind of more tanky. He has a lot of health. So it's, a bunch of different play styles, and you can mix around. And overall, I've been playing Marvel Rivals. I streamed it. I played it too, like as soon as it came out, like in beta. And I'm gonna be honest, it's way more fun than Overwatch. It's basically what Overwatch wanted to be, except it came out already free, so everybody can play it for free. They don't seem to be super greedy with like battle passes and like microtransactions. They're not really like flashing in your face every second about it. Like, it's sort of like an option. They have it like there in the menu, but it's not really like, know, pulsating at you like, you need the battle pass, you need to get these, like, it's kind of just like there, like, hey, we have this if you want it. It doesn't feel very intrusive. The only issue I would say, I mean, the game literally just came out, is probably the matchmaking queue system, which they can eventually fix. But basically, if you have issues with the game breaking and like lag or whatever, like I had on stream, and you quit the game, that's fine. You can load back in. But the problem is you have to jump through menus, and then you have to jump through a loading screen, and then you have to wait until the loading screen, like, it's like a cutscene that you can't skip for some reason. Like the main menu intro, I don't know why you can't skip it. It has to load all the way in, and then you could click join match. And then it has some stupid like dialogue, like, are you sure you want to join your game back? Like, yes, bro, I want to I just crashed. Like, the game should be smart enough to know that I was just in a game. I want to join right back in. Like, at least Overwatch has that one little thing that's a little bit better. But then again, Overwatch came out 10 years ago. This game came out like not even a few months ago. So yeah, the summary of this video, if you made it all the way to this far, sorry for yapping so much, but basically the Marvel Rivals situation is crazy because they're leaning into sexuality, which I think is a good thing. They should definitely do that. More games should do that. Stellar Blade does that. Everybody loves Stellar Blade. I don't even have a PlayStation, and I was this close to thinking of getting it just for Stellar Blade and Spider-Man. I mean, bro, like, the game looks great. Besides, you know, all the sexual stuff, it still looks fantastic. The gameplay looks great. I've watched people play it. It looks awesome. So same thing with Marvel Rivals. You're playing any male character, any female character, they're going to be attractive. You look at Overwatch and they're just kind of just blobs. I mean, bro, like, like it's not even comparable. Like, why, if you're gonna make a TV show or a movie, why are you gonna think in your head like, okay, I want to make ugly characters on the screen so people can relate to them? And it's like, bro, I didn't come to watch a movie to watch some ugly dude like me on the screen. I want to watch, you know, fucking Ryan Reynolds. I want to watch the most handsome people, the most beautiful people on screen, and be like, wow, this is amazing. Like, these people look great. Unless, I don't know, like something special about them. Like, not to throw them under the bus, but probably someone like Seth Rogen. Like, okay, he's not the best looking dude ever, but he's fucking hilarious. So I mean, he's always great to have on screen too. So you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, if you have the option to pick higher attraction, why would you not do that? Why would you purposely say, no, I want less attractive people? Then nobody's gonna give a shit. It's very unfortunate, the world we live in, but people care about what you look like, and people base their assumptions on your attraction. If you're super hot, you can get away with a lot of stuff. So I think with, you know, video games and stuff like that, and even movies, they definitely should heavily lean into like more sexualized stuff, especially, you know, women and stuff. If you have 80%, 90% male audience, straight male heterosexual audience, you're gonna want people like me or other dudes who are like, yo, man, these girls are hot in the game, I want to play this game, versus like, I gotta look at some blobs. I gotta look at May from Overwatch wearing a fucking fluffy sweater. Like, I could give a shit about like May from Overwatch. Like maybe if the character, I mean, it's fine if the character's good and the character's fun, and I get it, the game is kind of like rated, you know, T for teens, so everybody's supposed to be able to play it. But just look at Overwatch, just look at Overwatch, and then look at Marvel Rivals, and just look at the difference. I mean, I am predicting it now. It is January 2025. I think Marvel Rivals is going to continue to grow until 2026. Now, from whatever happens, I have no idea if they'll continue making improvements and adding more stuff, like good stuff like this. Then if they keep this up, then they will grow until 2026. If they kind of stagnate, I'd say maybe the game will last another 6 more months, kind of like X-Defiant. Everybody thought that was going to be the COD killer. I don't know. That game had a lot of potential, but they didn't really do too much with it. That game, I can make my own video about that game, but essentially what I'm trying to say is, yeah, Marvel Rivals, I think, will stick through 2025 and make it to 2026, especially if they keep on the path that they're on now. Like, they're cooking, bro. And honestly, people are done with Overwatch. Nobody's playing Overwatch anymore. And also, I wanted to add too that Overwatch even made it to Steam. You can hop on Steam and you can play Overwatch. Negative reviews. People, that was another thing. People hated Overwatch because you had to get a third-party launcher. You had to get, excuse me, you had to get the Blizzard launcher to get Overwatch. That was the only game I had on Blizzard launcher. I had to get Overwatch through there. So I had to get a third-party account. So I had to get a Blizzard account, Blizzard launcher, and then I had to get Overwatch through there, versus it was, you know, Marvel Rivals is on Steam immediately. You can play Marvel Rivals on Steam right now. You don't have to make another account, nothing. Direct click, download, boom, easy to go. I don't know what else to say about that other than Overwatch is cooked and Marvel Rivals is a W, and I'll probably continue to play it and stream it. So if you subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. But if you guys want to see me play it more, I have streams. Check out my live stream history. I played the game and I plan to play it way more. It's way more fun. It's what Overwatch was supposed to be. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.